It's 6:48 p.m. The rain is about to start. It's Friday, August 19th, 2022. I am sitting here watching a video from one of my favorite YouTubers. I love her. And I started hearing a conversation in my mind. Like I normally overhear something that I'm supposed to be talking to you about. But this time I wasn't overhearing it in a conversation kind of way. It was someone talking to me about someone else. And how do I describe this? It's kind of like being in a hotel room and there's someone talking to you in a hotel room about someone in the corner of that same room, but that person in the corner doesn't know that these other two are talking. And what what the spirit guides told at me is, what would it feel like for you if every time you were awake, you knew that there's something right there that you want to punch in the face, because if you don't, it will. But there's nothing there. And I'm like, oh, that's anxiety. What do you want me to talk to them about? Like, everybody has it in a different level. We all deal with it differently. And when I was asking this, I was shown a wheel over that person in the corner's head. And in that wheel, there were little Polaroids of all of the moments in their life where people were suffering from anxiety and didn't know it and made really bad decisions because they couldn't recognize the various levels of anxiety. So I was noticing this, and in meditation, I'm asking, like, so you want me to talk about this because I'm on some different spectrum of it, right? And what bothers them is child's play to me, because what bothers me is fucking convoluted and, traumatic, or whatever all this compounded stress has been over the decades. And they showed me an anthill, a mountain, and then a giant next to the mountain, where the mountain is up to the pinky toe height of the giant. And then a bigger being, a bigger being, a bigger being, and all of them were being affected by anxiety. And it looked like a harp, and each string on the harp was one of those beings. They were the tuning fork of the thing. They were the part where you twist the cog to tune the thread on the harp. So then it microed again. They showed me a little picture, a little sandbox, a diorama, I think it's called, of a scene, a setting. And it was of someone, and the features changed, but it was kind of shaggy hair and different colors, like all the different colors, all the different skin tones, very shifty. It wasn't about one specific person. It was almost like this one person was an archetype that was being shared across the entire planet by a bunch of different people. And this archetypal person, that's the silent sufferer, the anxiety-ridden vibration that emits in everyone. Like, it's similar to a electric current being run through a system, and some of the neural networks don't function properly with that electrical current. So the other networks need to pick up the weight. But something's gone wrong. It's similar to, they keep showing me the anthill, the mountain, the giant, and then the various larger ones, and then reversed, it's the harp. So it's kind of Something has to be added or altered because a current is running through anyway. It's tuning something up. But while it's doing that, these people across the world are suffering. And there are people around these people that are aware of this and aren't doing what they're doing, which is weakening their threat because they're not playing the tune they play by being servants of the all, which means everyone, each other, helping each other. So the ones that aren't doing that, they're causing an indentation in the tapestry. And then that indentation is causing more stress in the tapestry, which is then requiring more energy to flow through it to bring the indentation back up. But instead of doing that, it's destroying the people who aren't being helped in the first place. I'm being shown a scene from, I think it's called a World of Warcraft movie, but it's like a CGI movie or something, I don't know. And there's these people that are being put into a doorway, and their souls are being siphoned for energy to open this gate. And those people don't need to, like, that doesn't need to happen. That's what that anxiety feels like. At a primordial level to the soul, it's a electric current running through a sensory sense of peace. Like wanting to punch something that isn't there because you're afraid it's going to punch you first. And it has nothing to do with anger. It has to do with survival. And a lot of people have that in them. And there are levels of this. You might think like, oh, like I do. Some of us have overcome certain levels of anxiety. We've learned to cope. We recognize the energy behind it, the lesson and the wisdom. So we might feel it, but we know what it is we're feeling. Others can feel the same exact thing we feel so effortlessly, functioning on anxiety or depression or PTSD or any of that stuff. But they might feel a drop of it and it might break them in two. It's kind of like putting glasses on someone that doesn't need glasses. Their entire vision distorts for a few seconds before they take them off because their eyes hurt. Now imagine someone living like that for their entire life, wearing glasses that they don't need to wear, feeling anxiety that they don't need to feel, being poor, being this, being that. But that happens. And people say it's karma, but it's not. It's to create unity. Haven't you noticed that yet? The people suffering, the people that aren't suffering. The ones that aren't suffering have every method to help the people that are suffering. Why don't they? Because they're waiting for the people that are suffering to save themselves, which is so wrong. That is not what the King of Compassion, the Prince of Peace, the Child of God, the light, the truth, and the way intended for any of you. And then to have died in any religion, in any region, in any mythology, for someone to have died to free others. And this is what people have done with their freedom. And there are people suffering, people missing out on life, on family, because they can't afford to go, because people have created a society dependent on money. And then they complain that they aren't happy because they gave control of making money to other people. An entire world grieving for something and crying for something so deeply, so elementally, that everyone feels it like a discordant note in the background. And where does it lead to? It feels like wanting to punch something that isn't there. Because if you don't, it'll punch you first. And it's done so many times. Well, now you're going to start punching it instead. That's what it feels like. So when you're feeling like a victim, when you're feeling really anxious, when people are telling you what to do, a really deep part of the human psyche says, stop. You don't own me. How dare you command how much I have in my pocket or how much I need for that object? How dare you tell me I have to bow my knee before my father? How dare you tell me I have to do this for that? Who made you Lord of Physics? And those that teach these things, those that have the basics, those that teach the facts and the wisdom, good job. But those that perpetuate lies and create a system of disorder and matrix, a construct of lies, and then have done so for so long that they feel ashamed to even stop, so they just keep doing it because, hey, someone needs to be the villain. But that's not true at all. No one needs to be the villain. Nobody. No one on earth is telling anyone on earth to go fight anyone else on earth other than the people on earth. No gods, no demons, nothing. This is Yahweh's creation. This is his Garden of Eden, a place where we delighted. And now look at it. All because you wanted to feel free. And in that freedom, you allowed your siblings to suffer. You broke people's hearts, minds, souls. Some of you stole in any lifetime. You guys have been murderers, rapists, pedophiles, liars, saints, sinners, nuns, priests, priestesses, kings, queens. And in every single life, you have betrayed yourself. Every single person. In every life, you knew better. Some part of you told you better. So, you see people suffering. What are you going to do? Buy them a meal? Why don't you just sit down and talk to them? You know, you've done terrible things in relationships. Okay, you feel bad. Did you learn a lesson? Did you talk, communicate, and apologize? No? Why don't you? You know, are you constantly being a doormat to family that shows you they don't want you? Or you're too afraid to stop being a doormat because you're afraid they're going to show you they don't want you? Are you such a good employee or an employer that you think everybody loves you? Are you so deluded into thinking that it doesn't matter what other people think about you? You're part of a global family. Of course it matters what they think about you. Everybody loves you. Why the fuck wouldn't we care? Or why the fuck wouldn't you care what we think about you? We want the best for you. Shape up. Do the right thing. Yes, I want the best for you. Yes, you better care what I think about you. You better not disappoint me. Because I see the best in you. How dare you have me existing in a world where you show me exactly on purpose a species choosing by its own free will to be stupid. It's silly, isn't it? This entire download I've had in the recent hour, and this entire day, and I keep seeing the sun, solar flaring across the planet. But every time it gets to the Earth, it hits the moon first, and the moon seems to be cracked like an eggshell. And on the other side of the moon seems to be a construction site, creating the rest of the moon. And then the sun wave hits the Earth, and it smacks everybody like a radiation, a solar cosmic titty bitch slap. And all it's doing is slapping their face in the direction of those crying next to them that they didn't see crying. On those that they stepped on that they weren't noticing they were stepping on. On those that they stole from that they didn't realize, oh, we stole that from you and now we're wearing it. Whoops. It's kind of like a cosmic apple from Eden being given to everybody all at once through a cosmic wave of the sun. An apple that shows common sense. How ashamed would each of you be of your own selves if that happened? And if you go back to my channel from the beginning and you see every video I've made, would you see how I've been attempting to prevent you from feeling shame for what you've done? I never judged you. I was simply channeling that energy for you so that you could see. Please better your way. Please do better. Please help people. Please be kind. Please stop lying. Please stop cheating. Please stop stealing. Please stop raping. Please stop murdering. Please stop touching children that way. Please stop destroying nature. Please stop watching your siblings suffer and do nothing about it. Please stop caring about how many or who are doing what and care more about what you're doing to help those around you. How you can build a better neighborhood. How you can build a better apartment, a house, a job, a bathroom, a kitchen, a hallway, a sense of self. I don't understand how a species made in the image and likeness of the gods, who were made in the image and likeness of the Great Mother, who was made in the likeness and image of the Great Grandfather, and you people mock their entire creation by being so petty to each other. And those of you still wearing symbols of death, coffins with corpses on them, vials with trapped pieces of others. It's sickening. Can you imagine going to a world where they have your brother dead on a cross and everyone is wearing a cross around their neck? Where they took your mother and covered her in veils and made statues of her being subservient to her children? Where they took the image of a man that grew old and said he created you? How silly. And then there are people in your lives that you specifically know, that you know you could be helping, but you don't. And you wonder why your life is the way it is. And I speak of the simple little things. And I will give you an example today of my own personal human life. I took Tux out for a little walk, and I noticed one of the neighbors was watering their garden plot, and I asked him to leave the watering hose so I could water my little plot when he was done. And that little plot I gave to Gaia, and I said, you do what you're going to do with this plot. I'm just going to toss some seeds here and pour some dirt over them. And you have full control. I am not weeding anything. I am not cutting anything. I am not designing anything. All yours. And let me tell you, she created something ridiculously beautiful again. But you know what he was doing? He started watering my plot too. That is one of the first nice things people have done for me in the building in about a few months. Other than maybe kind of holding the door, you know? In general. Like genuinely, you did not have to do that. Thank you. What are you guys doing like that? That you absolutely don't have to do in any way. No one even asked you to do it. They specifically asked you to do the opposite, actually. When do you guys do stuff like that? Some of you watch these videos and you don't even bother clicking a button. You just talk shit and mentally talk shit, and then you walk away and then you go talk shit about me to other people. I don't care. God hears you, though. I just don't know what else to say to you. So I'm going to pull some cards because I think it's easier for you to listen to what I'm saying or being said through me to you when you have cards to look at. This bitch has been running to the point where they want to run to for so many fucking years. They probably started as a teenager and now they're like an old person and they're still trying to get back to the person they're trying to be with. Are you there yet, buddy? I'll get there eventually. Rest in peace, dude. Running towards the truth, you finally see what true teaching is actually about. King of Wands. King. Holding both. The truth, the light, and the way towards the Great Mother, the moon, the stars, and the earth itself. Ooh, how do you know this? Because it's common sense. Common sense. The Ace of Swords. Common fucking sense. 5 elements. Earth, air, fire, water. What's the 5th one? Unity. What's life about? What are we going to do with life? How are we going to help everybody? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And make the numbers match? And how are we going to, like they do. Basic common sense work. Basic common sense mindset. Help each other. Help each other. I think that's enough. I love you. Take care of yourself. Oh, you can't see it. It looks really cool. It's raining. I love you.